Happy New Year.
Hello, happy New Year, indeed.
Yeah.
We've barely paused for breath on game week 18, and we've now got another deadline. So we must pick up the pieces from our last game week, and I'm to be honest, this is the first time I looked at it, and we've had some good luck here, and some bad luck actually. So we'll start with the positives. So we bought Sven Botman in. Obviously, that worked out, doubling up on the Newcastle defence. That was a nice little move. That worked out. I think most of the moves we were considering would have held, but you know, I'm not too disappointed with that. Um, Alex, I let you boast about Bazunu. I know that penalty saves weren't the reason you wanted him, but penalty save is what happened. So we got
I
some
have
points.
I have a knack of picking goalkeepers who can save penalties. Imagine what red arrow we would have got had Mitrovic slotted that home. But big Gavin with a big save right at the end for a
Yeah,
nice 7 points and a big boost for us rank wise.
there's a huge swing that was that penalty save. So now he's got Elise off the bench. So for Cancelo. So by some miracle, Cancelo didn't come off. Oh, come on, as well. 2 games in a row he's been benched, which is very odd. Um,
That's another one which I'm gonna happy to put my hands up and boast about. I felt like I had to defend Elise a little bit from Adam was firing shots in the last in our last meeting, and felt like I had to defend him a little bit. I'm glad he's justified my faith.
Yeah,
okay.
I think you've been lucky, but I can't be too critical at this stage. I still
Cool.
think that Almiron's the better overall pick at that price.
I mean, he nearly scored again, didn't he, Almiron? Um, but was it two assists and then max bonus? So yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, nice.
I thought he was in our lineup, so I was sort of cheering those assists, and then I've just noticed that.
I knew he was on the bench, and when I saw Wilson come off, I was thinking, "Oh no!" But I didn't realize that Cancelo didn't get on the pitch at all. So yeah, slice of luck, which
Yeah,
we'll take.
Andreas assist finally getting some points for us. Rashford could have been so much more. Obviously, had a disallowed goal there. Um, After coming on as a sub for disciplinary reasons, but those should be behind him now. So Kyle Wilson looks like a zero. Looks like he didn't play, but of course he did. He just came on and got booked. For, like played what 26 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so if he hadn't have come on, we would have got Buenos 6 points there on the bench as well. But that would have been ultimate jam. So it was a green arrow, about 50k or so. So we'll take it. We know we haven't had one since the return up until then, so that's good. So in terms of game week 19, it is a double game week for Fulham and Chelsea. We've only got one representative there, which is Andreas. I would assume that we may correct that with a transfer. Um, but that remains to be seen. Obviously, Mitrovic is the obvious one there. We do have, let's have a look, 1.5 in the bank, one free transfer. So I guess Wilson has been a bit, he's been disappointed. He missed out the first game through an unreported illness, and then was the only just returning there for Newcastle in the last game. Let's see how the fixtures. Arsenal. Yeah, okay. There's no double for him, so probably Wilson to Mitrovic is one potential move. Um, I don't really see much else. It's a tough week for our defenders. Newcastle
oh,
facing the leaders away. Cancelo. I mean, surely he starts this one, but even if he does, Chelsea not the easiest. Um, I mean, there's an argument to say that we might play Bueno against Villa, uh, potentially for one of those. But hear what you say about that. But yeah, I think Wilson to Mitrovic would be my move. It's an obvious one, but um,
yeah, it's a boring move, but to be honest, it's probably necessary.
yeah, I mean, so they've got. It's not the easiest double, of course. Fulham.
No,
It's
it's a
Leicester,
rubbish
right?
double, to be brutally honest. It's a rubbish double, really. I mean, in terms of other options, you look at Chelsea options, and no one really stands out as being an attractive pick at the moment. They've won one in the last 7 games. They
Yeah.
don't score many goals. They concede goals as well. They're just one of those, aren't they? It's hard. Sterling has scored in each of the last two, and he's 9 million. But Havertz can play up front. But I think it'll be a tough double for them. I think Fulham are in form. I'd be happy to go Mitrovic, Wilson to Mitrovic, and just roll with that. To be honest.
Yeah. I think it's.
I mean, in terms of Newcastle, Newcastle are more than capable of a clean sheet. But I do like Arsenal. Arsenal are a very good team, but Newcastle won't be easy to break down. Might be worth playing 5 mid. Can we go maybe 3-5-2? Is probably, I'd say, the option is probably the play for me. Go 3-5-2 and then maybe bench Botman perhaps.
Yeah, just to confirm, you're happy with this move, yeah? It seems like you are.
Yeah, it seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Leicester concede the most set pieces. Mitrovic is good with his head. Don't mind it.
Yeah, the Leicester fixture is definitely right for him. They're not playing great, are they, Leicester? So I would say he's got a decent chance of that. And then Chelsea, they're not that consistent, are they? So yeah, Botman probably would be the one because his ceiling is much lower than Trippier.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see an attacking return from him. So I guess probably Tottenham at home, probably not the easiest, but maybe it is. Tottenham are struggling at the moment. They have too much quality not to turn it around, I'm sure. But on their day, Palace can do damage, and you can definitely see them scoring, can't you?
I'd like Greenwood to be first sub there.
Okay, well, he didn't play last game. He seems to have sort of lost his place.
He's been good when he's been playing, though, I thought.
Yeah, they just have so many options in those attacking places. So, Aronson, Somerville, Harrison, Nonto is another one they play a lot. Rodrigo. I think
Gelhardt,
and there is another one. Even another one again. He's injured and he's Sinistera. He's injured.
Sinistera's injured. Yeah. I would play Elise against Tottenham. They're in a bit of a muddle at the moment. I just think I think it's that. It'll be hard for Newcastle to keep a clean sheet against Arsenal. They're capable, but we've got Trippier. I'm happy to gamble with that. I think that's a decent team, to be honest. I look at that team and I'm quite happy with it. Captain is a difficult one. I think it is a genuinely difficult one. Haaland is Haaland. Mitrovic is one booking off a suspension, so he represents a gamble. And Andreas is a midfielder, probably doesn't have as high a ceiling as Mitrovic does, but at the same time isn't near a suspension. It's also worth mentioning, I think it is important to mention, Marco Silva has come out and has backed Mitrovic as penalty taker. He said he'll be ready he misses it, but he scored loads for us and he'll be ready to take the next one. That was the quote there or thereabouts. And that is important because when Mitrovic was last out injured, Andreas took the penalty and scored. That was at Man City. But as it stands, Mitrovic is going to take the next one if they get it.
If he's on the pitch.
If he's on the pitch.
That's fun. That's quite fun. I had Andreas as my captain earlier. And then I put him on Mitrovic, and now you said that, I'm thinking, I think that's quite a fun.
Well, it's a big gamble with Andreas. So if you go and have a look at Andreas's record, Trystan, if you just click on Andreas and just have a look at him, he's very consistent. He's excellently consistent. As you can see, he rarely gets big returns, though. You can see just one double figure return in all of those games, and he's only got he's only got 2 goals, and one of them was a penalty. I just think it's one of those you got to look at. I think Andreas might end up getting 10 points across the 2 game weeks. I just think Mitrovic's ceiling is higher.
Yeah,
but it's a gamble, obviously, because he's one booking away from suspension.
Yeah, the booking's annoying, but sometimes this has happened a lot of times before where players on 4 bookings and they just seem to stay on that threshold for ages.
But the thing is, though, Trystan, which is why it's nerve. He should have got that booking against Southampton. He was in a bit of a strop through that game. Apparently, he pushed someone. He was a tightrope, and he probably should have been booked. I know. I have to look. I have to for the sake of the.
Yeah, I know. I'm myself. I'll be going into this game with it without him, so I wish he was suspended.
I just feel like he's a big troll, you see, because a lot of people got him in last week in preparation for this. Southampton at home is obviously a great fixture in its own right. And of course, he did have a great game and then he ended up missing the penalty. It would just be a classic Mitrovic troll, wouldn't it, for him to get booked against Leicester?
I don't think Rashford's a terrible captaincy option.
No,
You
he
know,
isn't. No, he
banging
isn't.
form. You can see the confidence in him, and
Oh, you're tempting me there with that one. Oh,
he'll start. He'll start. So
you have
Bournemouth,
tempted me. He'll play 90 as well after the discipline. He'll probably play the full game.
I'm
Oh,
going
Trystan, I wish you hadn't told me that.
yeah. Um,
Adam, what you thinking? Because I know you don't like Rashford normally.
No. This version of Rashford is in my team happily. I like Rashford. I didn't like United as I sort of just tend to avoid United when possible. I mean, if we're starting to look at the rest of the team and think Rashford's a good option, realistically, is Haaland still the best option?
and yeah, probably he probably is. He scores near enough every game.
Yeah.
You'd think that they wouldn't completely dismantle Chelsea, but they did just drop 2 points, and usually City after doing that respond, don't they?
I think Mitrovic is capable of outscoring Haaland with the one extra fixture.
If he
I'm
plays,
just terrified that he won't play that extra fixture.
yeah. I think Leicester are going to be better than we're giving them credit for as well.
Oh, don't tell me that. Oh, yeah, with Danny Ward on the bench, that would be typical as well. On our bench, that would be very typical.
I thought you had some transfer news you didn't know about.
No, he's on our bench. Oh, I like Rashford. I do like Rashford. That's a
I might
nice
do it
little fun.
myself now. I might do it myself as well.
I really do like Rashford. I'm not gonna lie.
With 389,000, I haven't got much to lose.
No, we haven't.
We can make Mitrovic vice.
Mitrovic vice, yeah, Mitrovic vice.
Hang on. And completely ignore Haaland for once.
Well, he's a robot, but we need to make gains. We're not making gains with 86% owned Haaland as captain, are we?
But will you? Because will people be following this double game week instead?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
If Haaland gets 2 goals, we get 16 points with him captain, and someone else gets Mitrovic, and he gets.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
I'm normally for the gambling, but maybe Haaland is the gamble.
No, it won't be. It's effective ownership high, like 84%. Still, a lot of people captain him, so it'll be over 100%. He'll still be the most captained. I'm sure of that. I haven't looked at the polls, but just through sheer numbers and people not wanting to deviate from him, he'll be captained less than usual, definitely.
Yeah,
but purely because of the amount of people that own him, it will still be probably more. His EO will still be higher than anyone else's.
I think I have to bench De Bruyne this week. I just don't know.
That would be a mistake.
Big game player.
This is the kind of fixture where De Bruyne would go. It's the kind of fixture that De Bruyne could go big. He scored before against Chelsea as well. I think he scored at Stamford Bridge a couple of times actually.
I do remember a left-footed strike outside of the area.
Yeah, this is the sort of game this De Bruyne. I would not be surprised if he gets good. He has 2 blanks in good fixtures on paper. Be classic De Bruyne to bang one in from the edge of the air, goal and assist in a Chelsea away. It's just classic.
Space for him, Alex.
The thing is that Adam, look at our bench. Now, no offense to our bench, but there's just none of them I'm putting in for De Bruyne. I mean, what's the best we're going to get there? 6 points from Hugo Bueno, and that's hard to get against Aston Villa. De Bruyne just has to score or get one attack in return, and he's equalled that probably.
Villa are good. I mean, they're high at the moment. Just beat Spurs. So, the only other decision really, Bazunu probably play him over thingy.
I'm sticking with him. Yeah, I've got on the train. I'm on the train. The train's already halfway out the station now. We're on it. We've already ridden its penalty points, and now we're going for the clean sheet against Forest.
All right. In that case, we've got to go because we've got to get this up before the deadline.
Right. I'm happy with Rashford. Trystan, are you happy with Rashford?
Yeah.
Right, we've outvoted Adam. Unlucky Adam.
I don't mind. I like it when you go a bit dangerous because it's normally me that does all this. So yeah, fine. Yeah. I think the next week we'll be like, well, it could have been hard, it could have been Mitch. It's a hard week for captaincy. We're going to take. It's good to be brave. Well done.
Okay, that's our team. That's our team. I think that looks good on paper. I'm happy with that. Fingers crossed for more green arrows to start the new year.
So we're having Breno come in first, are we?
Yeah. Yeah, I think. Just,
Okay.
yeah. For Cancelo again, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, all right. That'll wrap it up.
Cool.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.